Good coffee morning, folks. Friday. Uh, Union of Concerned Scientists, in about a week, 5 days, is going to be having a couple of seminars or symposium on particulate matters. Now, this is something I've discussed before. There is two things of interest in this particulate matters conversation, right? The EPA's ppm standards. Well, those are great and those are good because they're talking about dust in the air, particulate sizes. The smaller the particle, the easier it is for it to bind and be absorbed through lung tissues, as one issue. When you breathe in through your nose and sinuses, those materials coat your sinuses. It's one reason your nose runs, to rinse crap like that out. So, particulate matters, Union of Concerned Scientists. These folks I respect. I haven't seen nonsense come out of them, woo or any other type of stuff. So if I had money, I'd support them as well. But please go find that. If you're interested, this is the pollution conversation. This is the other pieces of this massive story of how pollution works. I touch mostly on nuclear because it's so easy to mislead. There's an article about a Florida whole city that's sitting on top of an old mine that has disturbed radioactive elements, and so maybe there's a risk to the people living in the area on a very old settled subdivision. So the article is interesting because they mention that safety people came around specifically waving Geiger counters, and the author questions if that is the right tool for the job. Yes, it is the right tool for the job. If you want to minimize anything, if you want to excuse radioactive pollution, that's the meter you pull out. You can go pick one out that won't see what it ought to see if you know what you're doing. So, this idea of a survey, the only place I know of to get trained on this is through federal government sponsored INL labs courses. They teach you how to do this. They only have these a couple times a year. If there's 1,000 people in the US that have been through those courses, I would be surprised. But global attendees go there because that's what it is. Where they disappear to is a good question. Good paychecks mostly. So there's a recommendation. Union of Concerned Scientists, ppm, particulate matter, dust size particles in the air. There's two conversations here: the size and the amount of particles, right? Just the particles in general. And then what are the particles? Are they acids? Are they bases? Are they absorbable? Lead, for instance, can be inhaled and absorbed through the membranes in your lungs. Strontium, no, we typically drink strontium. But all of these, I used to carry standards for lab instruments that if you got a drop on you, you would die. I had gloves for them, and I knew how to handle them, and I knew what they were, and I carried around in a Halliburton case. It was locked up, and yet I didn't have full control of it when I put it on an airplane. So these things, this is life. This is what people do, and yet some people don't know what we do. UCS, dust in the air, particulate matter. Please check out that channel. I'll try and put a link below. Peace out. Humanism. You're born, you have a right to be here, but you need to understand being here.